Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a interesting take on green, white, red Maverick. You might know this build as Punishing Maverick, but in this build I'm not playing Punishing Fire. I'm looking at other removal like Lightning Bolt, which I think is pretty well positioned right now, and Prismatic Ending, which has been, it's had a pretty big impact on the format to say the least. This is a pretty Green Suns heavy build, so we have a large range of targets for Green Suns, including Knights of course, and some new cards like Outland Liberator, which I can't double click on, which is interesting. It'll get there. But it should be pretty fun. So one reason that I like the Lightning Bolts over the Groves and the Punishing Fires is that there are a few X3 creatures, most likely DRC, which is a big one. So just not being able to kill Dragon Ridge Channeler is pretty big. And I do like that Bolt is a little bit more reach for a little less, being just 1 mana, which is really nice, which means that if we have something like a turn 1 Noble Hierarch, we can then still untap, remove a creature like a Mother of Runes, a Nettle Sentinel, a Delver, a Ragavan, and then play a 2-drop, which is really nice. I think that there's definitely room for Punishing Fire builds in Maverick and in the Legacy format right now, but I'm not too sure if it's greatly positioned at the moment. So I am just going to see how the Bolts and Prismatic Endings go. I am just running the 1 Thalia. I wanted to run a Once Upon a Time build. I couldn't find room for the 3rd. I've been on this for about 5 minutes trying to find room without playing 61 cards for an extra once. But I feel like I have to play 23 lands, which includes Maids of Ith. So I think 22 lands with 2 onces is fine. I don't think I can go down to 21 lands and 3 onces, but it's definitely interesting. I really like Maze as just a really nice way to target some of the faster decks in the format. It means like the Ragavan decks have to find a Wasteland to deal with it. It allows us to untap creatures after combat, which is nice. It's just generally a really nice card. And in this deck, we are playing Yavimaya, so there is room to actually tap this for mana as well if needed. I really like Mother of Runes right now. I think Mum's really well positioned. She's a turn 1, 1-powered creature against Ragavan decks, which is huge. So although that she already is a threat that just needs to be answered on turn 1, I think with Ragavan decks, they really need to answer her because most of the time I'm pretty happy trading Mum with Ragavan, especially if we don't have an actual removal spell in hand. But I think right now, we're not seeing Plague Engineer, we're not seeing too many sweepers, so I really like Mum. And I think if I wasn't playing the onces, I would be playing a 4th. I'm just playing a 2-2 split of Noble Hierarchs and Birds of Paradise. Birds being able to tap for red is pretty huge, especially because in the board we do have access to Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast, so I do like that. Gaddock Teeg in the main deck here. I've been playing it in the sideboard, largely in Abzan Maverick, but I do like it here as kind of our main deck Thalia. It's kind of our combo hate. We can still turn to it, even off a turn 1 Noble Hierarch or Birds into a Green Sun for 2, which is nice. So I wanted to have some sort of combo hate that was fetchable outside of just Collector Oof. Collector Oof is definitely, I think right now, probably a little bit better for Maverick because it does have that wide range of decks it hates on, both fair and unfair. But I just want to have some sort of combo hate piece that stops the board, and also something for some of the BANT decks that are running Terminus, Supreme Verdict, their own Prismatic Endings or Engineered Explosives. So I think Teeg's a-okay. This card's been really strong. I do want to try to get up its ability. Let's go to settings quickly. Not sure why. So Outland Liberator has pretty much taken over the spot of Qasali Pridemage. It's better on mana. Obviously the flip is really nice, and the value of it destroying an artifact or enchantment on attacks is just huge. Playing around things like Maze of Ith, which is nice. Playing around Glacial Chasm, Mother of Runes, really strong. I think my Magic Online might have actually just gone a little bit haywire. There we go. That's on. I wonder why that isn't working. Usually, when you hover over a card, you can make it bigger, but I'm not sure why I can't. unless it's in settings here. Nope. So yeah, I think this deck is pretty heavy on removal. Klothys is still fine against some of the decks that we're playing against, like BANT, but obviously Prismatic Ending is a huge printing for decks that couldn't deal with the God early on. Shifting Ceratops in the main deck is one that I actually really like. We've been playing against a bit of Delver, and Shifting Ceratops is really hard for them to hit. Being pro-blue is really nice. It means it can't be bounced with things like Brazen Borrower. It can't be countered. It is 4 powers. It can't be bolted. Just a really nice card that can gain reach as well, so it can block Murktide Region all day, which is pretty sweet. I still like double endurance main and sideboard. I think that's great against the graveyard decks. We're seeing an uptick in Reanimator online, so endurance is really nice there, and just works really well as well with Once Upon a Time as a way to dig for graveyard hate when we really need it. Raminap I still think is a great card. A lot of these Delver decks are not playing basics, so to be able to wasteland lock them is key, and I think that's kind of one of those little ways that Maverick needs to have a bit of an unfair advantage. I don't think you can just play kind of a fair game against a lot of these decks. You need some way to kind of have a bit of an unfair way to win, and I think a Wasteland Lock strategy is really nice there. Raminap just, really nice. Even a way to get back Karakas if maybe it's been Wastelanded. Getting back Dryad Arbor as just a blocker every turn, or Maze of Ith is really nice as well, so that's pretty sweet. I did drop down on Knights just because my curve is a little bit higher with the second Endurance and the Shifting Ceratops. And then the board, as you can see, is pretty much combo hate. So Curse of Silence as a 2/of to partner the 2 Deafening Silence. I think Deafening Silence is still great against decks like Urza's Saga, some of the mono blue decks, and then of course against combo like Sneak Attack or Ant or Tess, which we haven't seen too much of lately. We have been seeing a lot of Show and Tell. Curse pretty nice as well against namesake decks like Doomsday, Show and Tell, a few others, which is kind of nice. The Blasts I really like, especially against these combo decks, and a great way to target Doomsday. If you're playing Maverick and your local community has a Doomsday player, I would definitely think about playing the Red Splash, because you get access to not only Endurance but also Blast effects. Force of Vigor, I'm probably not going to leave home with these ever. I think Force of Vigor is just a really nice card for the sideboard. Same with Choke. I think Choke's still a pretty good way to beat up some of these blue decks. Even though, again, Prismatic Ending is a great answer for some of the cards that they, in the past, have had some issues with, like Klothys, like Choke, you can just get your opponent. And again, it's just one of those cards that can lead to kind of unfair wins in a way that Maverick really needs to kind of keep in the game. Endurance, fantastic card. Great against graveyard decks, of course. Great against Delver. Really big fan of this card. And then Collect Oof. Anything from Death and Taxes to Stoneblade to Test to Ant, Urza Saga decks. Pretty happy to see this. And by Urza Saga decks, I mean some of the more faster combo decks that are playing things like Lotus Petal LED. Really big fan of that. And then just let's go over quickly with the mana base. We have 6 fetches, 4 Windswept Heath, maxing out on those because they can fetch both basics, 2 Wooded Foothills, because these can get Plateau. I was going to play something like Misty Rainforest, so again, some of the decks where we lose turn 1, we can play Misty and act like we're a blue deck. You can't fetch Plateau off a Misty, and I think that's pretty huge, so Wooded Foothills it is. I really like the 2 Tega, 2 Savannah, 1 Plateau split. It means we can't really get Wastelanded off red, and we also have 4 jewels that produce green for turn 1 for our mana accelerants. 3 Wasteland. I cut down on this just because we do have the Once Upon a Times. We do have the Ragavan to get them back from the graveyard, so I think that's fine. 1 Cradle, a card you don't often see in Punishing Maverick, but I think in this build where there are a lot of creatures, Cradle's going to be fine, and a really nice way to cheat out some of these creatures like Shifting Ceratops early on. 2 Canopy, this probably greedy, and can definitely add up against decks like Delver if you do start on double Canopy, but I think this is okay. I do just have a lot of times in Maverick, and I'm sure a lot of Maverick fans can say the same, where your lands that you draw just don't really do anything, and as a deck with not too much control over the top of your deck outside of Sylvan Library, 3 lands off the top in a row is something that you just have to live with, so at least Canopy can cycle hopefully into a spell, so I want to have 2 of those. Karakas, has been some talk of going up to 2 Karakas, but I think 1's fine. Really nice with Knight. This deck could be running something like Elvish Reclaimer as a 1-drop. I'm not running Hex Drinker because of Prismatic Ending as just a really nice way to deal with it, so Pretty happy with the one Caracas. You have a Maya. I think just allows this deck to be a little bit more consistent with its mana. One of the big things I've found with Yavimaya is allowing me to tap Canopy without actually taking life is huge. That's probably the biggest benefit I've had from it. It does mean we can tap Cradle without creatures. It does mean we can tap Maze of Ith for mana. It does mean we can save all our lands with a Scrib Ranger, which allows us to protect our mana base, which is pretty sweet. So that's pretty much it. Let's see how this goes. Some of the numbers are probably going to be off, but pretty happy to, yeah, put some games in and see how this goes. Hey Vegeta, welcome. I hope you're well. Yes. Constructed, streaming, nice. Shade of Hades, welcome. Welcome, my friend. Alright, play points, Punishing Mav, nice. That is the right size, perfect. Very cool. Very, very cool. For those of you who didn't get to see the Legacy Pit open on the weekend, I highly recommend that content. I believe it should be on their YouTube pretty soon, coverage-wise, so definitely check that out. I'm actually going to be back in 1 second. Nice. Apologies for the delay. Let's get into it. There are a lot of blue mirrors on camera at the pit. Really enjoyed watching Lands and Affinity do well though. Yeah, very cool to see Affinity do well. I think it was playing City of Traders, but outside of that, it's a pretty budget deck, which is nice. Also, no spoilers, but very cool to see Aluren do well as well. That was pretty awesome. All right, on the play against Waka D. And a pretty awkward hand, unfortunately. Maze, not a land, so it's not like I'm playing Maze over a land. So it's like this could be like a fetch land, but pretty happy to mulligan this. This hand doesn't really do anything. Okay, this is a bit better. It is a one lander, so I kind of want to keep both onces. But we do get to go like turn 1 Green Suns for Dried Arbor, which is nice. So I think I will actually bottom one once. We go Turn 1, Green Suns for Dried Arbor. Turn 2, land off the once. Prismatic Ending perhaps, and then Sylvan Library. That's pretty good. Yeah, the new Lich is very cool. I really like that deck. It looked really good. All right, opponent goes to 6. So we'll cast once first. Hopefully find a fetch land. We don't, but we do find Karakas. I think Karakas is pretty nice here. Probably does a little bit more than Wasteland. And being able to save Teeg against the deck with Teeg is good is fine. So let's go Karakas and then probably just go... It's actually a tough one. I would like to play out some of these games without showing the red source in game 1. I think I'm happy just to go Savannah into Dried Arbor. Opponent could think we're on green-black depths, or green-white depths, sorry. Island. Island pass, okay. Oh, that's actually a pretty nice draw. So now we have Gaddock Teeg and Mum. We have Gaddock Teeg hold up Karakas. I'm pretty happy to play around days, so I'll play the Karakas first. And I think I'm happy for Teeg first. The next turn we can play Sylvan Library, just to start rebuilding our hand as well, which is nice. Basic Island is interesting. Not being a Snow Island means it's probably not an Ice Fang deck. Okay. So looking to be Show and Tell. Or some sort of Urza's Saga deck perhaps? Dovin. Okay. Interesting. Hey D5, welcome. Hope you're doing well. It could be Super Friends. I have seen this card before. Thankfully it is just one more thing that Questing Beast beats down on, which is really nice. But unfortunately with the Teeg in play we can't deal with it right now. We could try to do something like return the Teeg later on to cast Prismatic Ending, but I think here I'm pretty happy just to cast the Library to start digging. There's also some merit to getting the Knight online because of this Ancient Tomb. My opponent can't force here because of the Gaddock Teeg, but they could daze, so Knight could get dazed, Library cannot. I think if I am just playing the Library as well, I'm definitely holding up Karakas, but there is potential for actually just attacking with the Arbor and then casting the Library with these two lands. I think I actually am happy just trying to get this Knight into play, because I feel like taking them off this Ancient Tomb is pretty nice. Cool. I'm not going to attack with the Mum, so I'm just going to pass here. Also, Library pretty tough if they're like a Narset deck. That would be pretty lame. 4 mana. So I'm guessing it's a 3-drop because of Gaddock Teeg. And I feel like Teeg there was just a really good card. The silver bullet that I really wanted. So this is going to be interesting. Right off the bat, I really like the blasts. I probably like the Collector Oof as well, seeing that Dovin makes artifacts cheaper. I'm not intentionally streaming at only 720p. I believe that's something to do with currently how my new OBS is set up that I haven't got into yet, unfortunately. But I should definitely be trying to stream at 1080p. Which I don't think I can change live, but we might as well see. No, I can't. I'm going to say Maze can come out. I'm going to say Swords can most likely come out, and then we can leave in Bolt and Prismatic Ending just because they have a bit more reach. I kind of like everything else. Clothis can most likely come out, maybe Force of Vigor. Choke's also interesting, seeing they're a blue deck. I might take out some of the fluff, like Once Upon a Time. I could also see like 1 choke, 1 force, just to see what else they're on. We do have one more card to bring in, so... I'm actually going to take out a library as well. I do feel like they're going to be some sort of unfair deck with things like potentially Hull Breacher or Narset. So I actually don't mind just bringing in the extra force and choke. Probably a little bit of overboarding, but hopefully it's okay. It's nice that Pyroblast against this deck is probably going to act a little bit like Source to Plowshares on their blue creatures. And this hand's pretty good. I'll keep this. We have turn 1 Acceleration, turn 2 Thalia or Choke. Alright. Opponent goes to 6 cards. Chalice. Okay. Does slow us down, but not the worst. Knight. Give me Misty and pass. Windswept Heath. Saga. Okay. I'd probably slide in Taiga because it means we can hold up things like let's have a quick think. Crop Rotation, which is really big. Scrib Ranger. Okay. They're down to 1 land here, so I really don't mind using the Thalia. So I think we will just go for Taiga, fetch Savannah, and then Thalia. It does mean next turn we can't Green Suns for Collector Oof, but I think that's going to be okay. Putting us down to 3 cards. Another city. Torpor Orb. That's going to be fine. It doesn't really do too much to our deck, which is really nice for us. Windswept Heath. Okay. I think here we just want to go for Knight of the Reliquary. Probably happy just to get another jewel here and go for a Savannah, just because it's a forest under Scrib Ranger. Sweet. I don't have to care about the Manifest, which is nice because of First Strike. But it'll be interesting to see what they get off the Saga. I wonder if they're playing maybe Dreadnought? Phyrexian Dreadnought? Because of the Torpor Orb? Maybe that's just a sideboard card. I guess they could get Needle here and name Knight. They're going to get Dreadnought. Okay. That's going to be fine. Choke looking pretty funny here, not going to lie. But probably a good card for like Force of Vigor. Cradle's pretty nice. Cradle was what I was going to search up, but I think here we can do some pretty nice shenanigans. Just want to have a quick think about what we can do. So we can play Cradle, play Script Ranger. We have access to 4 mana. We can then use Knight once for like a Wasteland. We can then use Knight to untap, get a land, which would be 5 mana, which allows us to green suns for 2 under Thalia, and then 1 mana left over for our creature to trade with the Dreadnought. So let's go Script Ranger first. Cradle. Add a green. Sack this. Go and get a Wasteland. And then we can untap Knight, returning probably the Savannah because we have another taker in the deck. Sack the Tager. Go and get a fetch land, and then get a Tager. 4 is enough. We can green suns for our new Qasali Pride Mage, which is really nice. Outland Liberator. We can Wasteland Saga. And now I'm probably happy just to pass back with this mana up. Wasteland's okay. They're going to attack with both, which is pretty interesting here, because the return is part of the cost. So we get to float green, untap Knight, return the Tager. Use the green to trade here. And then block the 4/4. Which is pretty tough for them. I mean, they get to Wasteland the Cradle, but we don't really care about it. If they don't Wasteland us now, we can play the Yavimaya, which means we can save the Cradle with Script Ranger, which is pretty sweet. So let's go... Three mana. I'm actually just going to sack Cradle here. I'm happy to get a Canopy, I think. Play Knight. And then use Knight's ability, returning the Horizon Canopy. Don't really need to use the one here. Happy to see them block or manifest. We can just 6 here as well. Opponent has 0 cards in hand, which is pretty tough. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Wow. Okay, I need to read Manifest. Turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature card. Very cool. Okay. Well, that definitely changes things, which is kind of nice. Alright, we take the hit. We will save this. I guess Force of Vigor is probably our main out here. Otherwise, it's looking pretty tough. Prismatic ending. Oh, okay. We can still ending this, which is nice. So let's go white. I'm just gonna get a forest. Ending this. Doesn't this play around Chalice? No? 2 colors? Wow. Yeah, I really screwed up. Tough. Yeah, okay. Rough. At least we know what we're playing against, which is really nice. I don't mind the maze here. The mums can probably come out looking at their mana base and what they're playing. I might just keep like 1 mum. I do like the library as a way to dig. Might just be this. Actually, the chokes I definitely don't need. So I'm actually just going to bring in 2 swords. Even though we saw Chalice, I think we have enough ways to deal with Chalice. Bit of a yikes. Really want that green mana for the Sylvan Library. It is a 1 lander. No. Okay. We're keeping it. Bottom 1 force, bottom the Elemental Blast. And probably just go Forest Go. Opponent kept 7. Pedal. Sure. Yes. Okay. I do like that that allows us to actually prismatic ending the Scroll of Fate, which is quite nice. Sure. Orb's gonna be okay. I kind of want to take out the scroll here, just before the 2/2s just get out of hand. Oh, they didn't even use it. Okay. Green Suns, close, but no cigar. I probably don't mind Green Suns for Dried Arbor and then Prismatic ending this, just to win the board back a little bit. This also turns on 3-drops next turn, which is really nice. And I would hate this to be something that is actually relevant. Island. Not relevant. Dovin. Teeg. Okay. Interesting, no tick up. Oh, did they tick down? Yeah, they did on Gaddock Teeg. Okay. Ooh, Ramanap's quite nice. Nothing end step. Interesting. Pedal, sure. Ah, Percy, nice catch. Really nice catch. That's 100% what happened. Nice. Ooh. We can't cast it because of Force of Vigor, so we might as well draw a card here. Thalia. Okay, not too bad. I am going to attack the... Yeah, that's a interesting one. I'm not too sure what my opponent really loses to with Gaddock Teeg in play. I feel like they have a lot of ways to win with things like Scroll of Fate, Torpor Orb into Dreadhorde, but obviously just felt they couldn't get there, so pretty fortunate. But we'll take it. Cool deck though. Really got me in game 2. That was a pretty cool one. And a pretty rough one, because I read Manifest as just Manifest. I didn't actually read what it did. And being able to turn Dreadhorde upwards is it's pretty good. Hey Red, I know the feeling. Maybe not waking up, but definitely after a long day at work, having to play against the Chalice deck and playing something like a Prismatic there, I can see why. But yeah, interesting spot. But yeah, Red Splash so far, pretty cool. Couldn't cast the Pyroblast we had, because of Chalice. But still, pretty sweet. I think there's a lot of, a lot of reason to be playing Pyroblast right now. With a lot of Delver around. Just a really nice way to answer Murktide. Maybe even take out something like an Expressive Consideration. It's obviously quite nice against Doomsday at countering Tharas's Oracle, which your opponent might not think about. Hitting things like Show and Tell is fantastic, especially in a version with Deafening Silence. Knowing that your Pyroblast can't be countered is pretty huge. Really like that about the deck. But yeah, shout out to Mark Strassman, who's been playing Monkey Maverick for maybe a few months now. Ever since Ragavan came out, he bought some, maybe a few weeks after, and has been championing that deck, which is pretty cool. Plays for Ragavan, which is pretty nice because it acts like a mana accelerant in a way for Maverick. It allows you to be really aggressive. It allows you to take things like Brainstorm from your opponent, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Mark's a very good Maverick player, and it's cool to see him trying out new cards like that. Pretty happy to keep this hand and hopefully find a Mana Dork off the once. So we can do something like Acceleration into turn 2 Library and Prismatic, or Acceleration into Library and Wasteland. There it is. Just going to get a Savannah here. and play Noble. Snow-covered island. Okay. Interesting. Pretty happy to play around days here. Play the Wasteland first. Hold up Noble so that if this gets countered we can still attack. Or just attack still. There is a world where I could have played the Gaddock Teeg out to stop my opponent from having Prismatic Ending for the Sylvan Library here, but that's okay. Ramanap is pretty nice as well. Just to get back some value here with this Wooded Foothills. Really make sure we hit each land drop, which is nice. Opponent probably looking for a Swords to Plowshares. But it looks like they won't find one, so we do get to get this Wooded Foothills back most likely. I'm just going to go for a forest and then hide the foothills here. I'm going to somewhat play around... Yeah, Terminus is pretty rough here, so I am going to play the Teeg out first. Library with Loam is really cool as well. Hey Ben, welcome. Hope you're well. Pretty happy to attack with the Ramanap here. The Gaddock Teeg does turn off our own Prismatic Ending, but I'm okay with that because we have the Bolt as a bit of removal as well. Huh. So luckily they can't Terminus here because of the Teeg. I was thinking about Wasteland on Flooded Strand just because it's not doing too much else, but I think here it's going to be okay. Yeah, I know that I've seen some Loam Maverick lists running around that also play Savine's Reclamation, which is cool because it means if you Loam any threats or things like Sylvan Library, you still have the ability to get them back into play. And Savine's has just busted value. Let's be honest. The card is quite good. I'm not going to use the fetch here. Krakus? Oh, the one card that I really wanted. Pretty nice. Happy to attack into a... Oh, could be an Endurance here. We do get to bolt it, I guess. Or an Ice Fang. Alright. In response to the draw trigger, pretty happy to fetch, get a red source and bolt it. A lot of basics from my opponent. Just going to pass here. I don't want to overcommit. Something like Sword on Gaddock Teeg untap into some sort of board wipe would be pretty tough. Let's get back to Wooded Foothills. Let's attempt to play out Beast here. Oh, okay. Pretty happy to attack just with Beast. Wow, is that getting through? Oof, okay. Ice Fang's fine. Opponent with 6 cards in hand. They're gonna fetch. Okay. Basics galore. Eldamri's Call. Sure. Ah, they're playing Aluren. Interesting. But they can't cast Aluren here unless they have Swords to Plowshares, yeah. Well, we will return it. Flash Teeg sadly doesn't do anything here, but I will cast it. And then just 6. So I'll let my opponent go off, but I do want to discuss sideboarding here. It's going to be a tough one. They have a lot of basics. So obviously, I'm not too sure if Ragavan is that great. Let's quickly go to Deck Tech, and then... I don't mind Curse of Silence on Aluren. I think that's a pretty nice thing to do. Force of Vigor's definitely interesting. It's just another way to deal with Aluren. Because I feel like we can drop down on Wastelands. I'm probably pretty happy to at least trim 1 Wasteland. Probably a Maze, to be fair, as well. I don't mind Clothis. I don't mind shifting Ceratops as a really nice way to get through Icefang Quaddles. Endurance is probably still okay, especially if they're playing Uro. Teeg is nice as it did keep them from playing Aluren there. Sylvan Library seems fine. Maybe the Onces can go. Once doesn't really find anything that I really want outside of Outland Liberator as a way to remove Aluren. Guess it also allows us to try to dig for Gaddock Teeg, which is nice. I don't mind some amount of blast effects as well. Maybe like a 2-2-2 split. Could even be a case of not running. Actually, Choke. I don't mind Choke. I think it's going to be a 2-2-2 split. Questing Beast is nice there. Prismatic Ending is still fine. Lightning Bolt's still fine. Sword's still fine. Thalia, probably a card that I'm happy to drop. So let's move those there. I think Screws is still okay. Although Screws not really doing much here, let's be honest. Other than perhaps stealing a Uro. I think Endurance just covers that role really well and is a 3-4. It might just be the Onces, to be fair. That's going to be 6 right there. And this is 6 right here. So I don't mind that. 2 Curse, Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, Chokes for 2 Once, Screws, Thalia, Maze, Wasteland. Yeah. Alright. We will allow my opponent to concede. And now we know. So, Wasteland, Maze, Thalia. Maze, Wasteland, Thalia. Screws once. Screws once. Pyro, Red, Choke, Curse. Deafening Silence, sadly, is non-creature, I believe, so doesn't do anything here. Stream, nice. But yeah, tough. I mean, that was a case of me really playing around Swords into Terminus when I should have just been playing the Questing Beast, to be fair. Tough one. Well, Dumry's cool, pretty cool as well. Alright, we'll take the play. A pretty rough hand. Doesn't do a whole lot. It is just a one-lander, which I really don't like, so I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, this is a lot better. Probably happy to keep this and bottom the Scrib Ranger. But Scrib's kind of cool, because you get to go turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Scrib, untap, play Library. So I think it's actually the Endurance I'm going to drop. Opponent kept 7. Okay. At least Choke here will hit if they try to Prismatic the Sylvan Library. They didn't have a Force last turn either because they did F6, so we do get to take out this Snow-Covered Island, I believe. Oh, they're going to Ponder. Interesting. Chose to not shuffle. I'm most likely just paying 8 here, no matter what the cards are. Yeah, I do like this. I kind of don't want to use the fetch yet because if 3 lands are on top of my deck, I really don't want to use my life to draw those cards just to look at more. So I think I'd rather probably just play the Wasteland here. Can also reuse this Savannah. But I can't. I can create 2 4 mana this turn. So I can't go Teeg into Choke, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can go like Choke into Mum, which is nice, and then Teeg the following turn. I don't mind that. I could also like try to Swords this Noble here, but I'd be more than fine with that. Force Switch Ice Fang, that's gonna be okay. Let's go with Mum here. Swords Noble, that's fine. Interesting that they Swords the Noble there, instead of holding it for the Mum. What does that mean? Chat, what does that tell you? Okay, they have double swords. That's what it means. Okay. Pay for the sword, put back the fetch. Play Teeg. Swing for 1, throw blue. I think there have been some decks playing Punishing Fire that are doing pretty well. But I do like that Bolt is a little bit cheaper and hits Dragon Rage Channeler when it's online, which is nice. But, I mean, Grove and Punishing Fire can take out a DRC with not too much trouble. It can take out, you know, an Endurance, which is pretty nice, which you can't do with a Bolt, unfortunately. Put on top. Put on top. I can run into an... they can't cast Endurance here, so this is a free attack. Oh, I just passed and I shouldn't have passed. Sorry, chat. That's really bad. I definitely had plays, of course. Tough. That's just, yeah. Probably happy just to draw this Endurance. Double Endurance, Prismatic Ending. Put on top, put on top. One nice thing with Endurance as well is that with Script Ranger, we can fetch for Dried Arbor, return Dried Arbor to our hand, and then pitch Dried Arbor to Endurance. So in this current board state, I don't have to hold up 3 for Endurance, which is pretty sweet. Uro is going to be fine, especially seeing we have the Endurance in hand. They could also play Krakus themselves. I wouldn't be surprised by a Krakus out of BANT Aluren, especially in this current metagame. I think I can Swords the Lich in response, which is really why I'm trying to keep the Swords and use the Endurance here for the Aluren. Oh, Bolt's pretty nice. I didn't actually have to fetch there because we have the Noble to cast everything, but this should still be fine. I like Plateau here because it holds up both Bolt and Swords. So let's attack first for 3. This is free because I can't cast Ice Fang. I think as well, the role of this Wasteland here is probably just to waste the fetch in response to a Brainstorm to stop the shuffle. I don't think Wasteland is going to, you know, take out a dual land is that great. I think actually trying to lock them on top is probably a better strategy there. Which, you know, thankfully opponent didn't really see too much outside of the choke from a sideboard's perspective. They did see the red. They might have seen the red in game 1, I'm not too sure. Alright. Running it back. Maybe it's like, I like these two as just finishes. I think I could actually drop a Knight here. I really like that Questing Beast and Shifting Ceratops both get through both Endurance and Icewind Quaddle, which is really nice as just a way to really keep pressure going. So I think dropping a Knight here is fine because we still have kind of our 4 beaters. Clothis is just incremental damage as well while we have like a bit of disruption. It's quite nice to have. Thalia is definitely interesting. They are playing Ponder Brainstorm, so I actually don't mind bringing in Thalia. But it's tough as well. I really don't want to lose to Aluren, so I think I might actually bring in the forces and probably take out one prismatic ending. Just seeing how a lot of their deck is instant speed, I think having the bolts and the swords are a little bit better. But the bad thing about double force is that if I have a hand with double force, I don't want a hand with double force. This is also just one of those hands that unfortunately we can't keep. This isn't too bad. I'm going to keep this and bottom the Ceratops. Definitely interesting though. Yeah, Ceratops and hope they have a slower hand. This also means if we draw into Once Upon a Time, which I believe we actually sided out. If we draw into a Mana Dork, I'd be very happy with this hand. Okay. Folk. Interesting. Blast. Ooh. That kind of makes me want to take a turn to play this library and hold up the blast. But there is a world as well where I bait with the library and then maybe in a few turns later. Yeah, I'm actually just going to play the library out. I don't think I have the time to like take a turn to hold up Pyroblast, but another great reason why a turn 1 Mana Dork would have been nice, because then we'd have the mana here as well for the blast. Ice Fang's okay. Oh, okay. The big role of Sylvan Library here is probably just digging for a Force of Vigor, so that my opponent can't go land, untap land, Aluren. Always the prismatic ending. Tough. Alright. I think here I have to choke just to keep them off this Volk as much as possible. Nice. It's a little win. Bolt. I think I'll just play Mum here and pass with Pyroblast or Bolt up. Oh, it's a 5/5? Rough. Hey, Punishing, welcome. Yep. I guess we can try to draw into like Force of Vigor. That's probably our only out. No. Rough. Not too much we could do there. I mean, I could play the clock in games 1s and 3s, but I don't think that's a great way to entertain and play Legacy Online. Happy to make them put some time into the combo, but if they have it, they have it. Yeah, Call's really good. Call's insane. Call also kind of is nice because it means like if you really need to, you can call through a blue card like Ice Fang or Uro and then use it to force, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, tough matchup. Aluren really tough if you don't have the board state, and that hand just didn't really have the board state. Maybe a little bit too slow. But yeah, the first hand of Double Bolt, Triple Green Sun's Noble Knight. Just not going to get there. Alright, on the play, which is nice, and pretty happy to keep this. Turn 1 Mum, we have once as well, to maybe find something like a Mana Dork. I probably wouldn't mind leading on a Mana Dork. Could also just keep the ones to know about like what we actually want from it, but a free spell is always pretty nice. It might just be endurance here. If my opponent's on some sort of combo deck, I do want to have some card against it, so endurance doesn't seem too bad. We also have enough mana for days, so pretty happy just to go for endurance. Verdant. Oh, Verdant pass. Okay. Once. That's actually pretty good. I'm just going to pass with once up. Actually, a tough one. Maybe playing the Outland was just better because it might flip. Oh, snow covered. I think Teeg here is probably just the best card. I am just going to get a forest. Once for Teeg, once for not a whole lot. I guess it's going to be bad. Not too sure what this deck is yet. Could be like a bug control deck. I feel like a brainstorm coming. Yeah. The other line was like hold up Wasteland to hit the fetch in response to the brainstorm to try to lock them, but I don't think that's great. Okay. Verdant, an interesting fetch. It's obviously a fetch that can't get white, so I'm not sure if this is going to be... By the fetches, I would say this is going to be a bug deck rather than a BANT deck. I'm going to draw first, sure. There's that Teeg, but I'm not sure how relevant it is. Probably don't mind playing it. They'll stop like Jace from hitting the field, which is pretty big. They're going to allow it. I'm going to play Cradle and hold up Endurance here. I'm not going to attack. And before Aluren again. I guess at least we have the Outland for the Aluren, but it can be a little bit rough if they... And I guess Teeg does also stop Aluren, so that's pretty nice. I guess it could be like blue-green Omni, but you don't usually see Verdant in that deck. Usually it's a mix of like Misties and blue ones. Can you hover over the Werewolf? There we go, it's working. So the Werewolf is pretty much Qasali Primage, but for 1 and a green. And then when it actually flips, it has the ability to, whenever it attacks as a 3/3, you get to destroy target artifact or enchantment your opponent controls, which is pretty nice. It is just going to be a BANT deck. Interesting. Living Wish. Yikes. Please don't get Plague Engineer. I guess we have the Wasteland for it, but still. Caracas. Okay. Well then. I am just going to cast Endurance here. Pretty tough, because I kind of want to keep the Wasteland for... They can definitely play around the Liberator, but it is something, which is nice. I'm actually pretty happy just to trade one of these. I could play the Wasteland and waste the Underground Sea, which means if they play the Caracas, they then have to use it for Gaddock Teeg, which means they can't play Aluren in the same turn. You like wasting? The issue then is that I don't have a great answer to the Caracas unless I draw another Wasteland. So if I Wasteland here, they untap, they play Caracas. The Caracas Teeg, probably in our turn. Then they untap, play a land, and then have Caracas and Aluren up. Because at least if they... It's still tough, because like, if I don't Wasteland here, they play Caracas, they Caracas Teeg, they play Aluren, and then we just have the Outlander. So I think it is just, hopefully we draw into another Wasteland. I think that's it. We get to flip the Frenzied here as well, which is kind of cool. Oh, they don't play the Caracas. Interesting. Hey James, a huge thank you for the sub. Too kind. I hope you're well. Very cool to chat to you this week about... Oof. Dukes, don't do it. Not just Cardboard Live, of course, but... I know it has a moat. Tough, tough. I even installed it. We have a download. Leo. Okay. Emotify. Emotify. Hey Mapson, very cool to see you. Hope you're well. Really enjoyed your latest Dark Depths podcast. Leo's gonna be tough. Especially with Frenzied Trap. Does kind of mean that it's going to be a little bit worse to attack with. Alright, Discord. I get it. You want to be involved, but... Yeah. Not what I want to find. I think I'm still happy to attack here, take out the Strix. They do draw a card though, which is rough. Maybe I will just attack with the Endurance again. See if they want to trade somewhat. This is fine. I also don't want to play this land just to have some sort of unknown information, and because yeah, passing with just one card in hand isn't the greatest. Brainstorm. Aluren's tough. Aluren is an interesting deck to come across. So a lot of their creatures create value straight away. So things like Swords to Plowshares and Bolt are pretty terrible, because a lot of their creatures are being replaced on entry. Aluren's pretty hard to deal with. outside of Force of Vigor, or you can get there with Teeg sometimes. I probably don't want to endurance target them here, because I don't want them to draw a card off the Leo. Wasteland, still not great. I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels here, unfortunately. I don't want to use Pro either. I want to keep the Mum as protection. Interesting. So they grab Caracas early on, but maybe just don't have the other half of the combo. I wonder if sideboarding changes as well, being a BUG Aluren deck other than... Sorry, instead of a green-white. See what they cast first. Uro. That's going to be okay. I think here I'll try to hit the Aluren. They have 4 cards left, so this definitely could be a bad spot. Especially if they have the Lich, yeah. You need to do it with Harpy on the stack instead of the Harpy return ability. Yeah, because they can pay 1 life to return it and then keep going. Alright. Let's go to deck tech. I think it's going to be the same here. I do like the forces. Curse. I probably want more blast effects, to be fair, especially with Leo in the deck. But I don't want to overboard either. I do like taking out these. Bolt Sword. Cloth is probably a little bit too slow. Shifting Ceratop's really nice. Cresting Beast really nice. Mums are great. Knights are fine. I could see myself trimming a Knight just because they have a pretty basic heavy mana base, and the creatures in Baleful Strix and Ice Fangs just make attacking a nightmare. I could see going down to 1 library, but I kind of like library. I don't think our opponent's going to be really pressuring us, which is nice, so the ability to dig with these libraries is pretty fantastic. Maybe this is a little bit overboarding. Maybe like 1 choke. And maybe down on like a blast. Maybe something like this. 3 blast, 2 curse, 1 choke, 2 force. Out Wasteland, out Maze, out Thalia, out Scavenging Ooze, out once, Colossus, and Knight. I think that's okay. What does chat think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Tough thing is that Caracas is just such good removal for Gaddock Teeg that Mum doesn't really do much there, but Mum does protect from things like Assassin's Trophy or Fatal Push, Abrupt Decay. This will be 8 out for 8 in. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Interesting. So this is a pretty cool deck. This deck obviously did pretty well at the event on the weekend for Leaving a Legacy, which is cool. It is a deck that a local player has, which is nice. It's always cool to face against Aluren because it is kind of a mid-range deck with a combo finish, which is what I love playing. And it's a big reason why I like Green White Depths, because you can play it as a mid-range deck with a combo finish, or against like some of the combo decks where you want to be faster, you can play it as a combo deck with a mid-range finish. But Aluren just, yeah, it has all the good colors as well. Black maybe in a tight spot, but I think with the BANT version we just saw that can play things like Prismatic Ending, it's got a lot of game to it. And especially with that Lich, it's just really good. Obviously online it's pretty tough. I'm not going to make my opponent do the whole thing. And I did let them go to 7, so pretty much did the whole thing. But it's not a deck that I'm going to make my opponent do too much for. Alright, 2 Curse, Pyro, 2 Blast. 2 Blast, Pyro, Curse, Choke, Force of Vigors. And then we like taking out Knight, Thalia, Onces. Yeah, the Locker's done a lot to the deck, which is kind of cool. It is a really cool deck to see back in the format, which I like. Clothis, and what was the other one? Ooze. I think that's okay. Maybe... Clothis is kind of cool, though. Maybe that's not the right way. Actually, I'm going to take out the Ramanap, keep in the Clothis. I think that's pretty good. There we go. Alright, on the play. One of those hands, unfortunately. Cradle, the only land here. Otherwise, not too bad. If we had like a land, like 2 real lands here, that'd be a pretty sweet hand. A 1 land again, which is pretty rough. We did take out a Wasteland, but I would expect to get maybe more than 1 land in our first 2 openers. I am going to mulligan this. I could bottom the Questing Beast and just try to draw into a land in the next turn, but playing 1 land, passing and not drawing a land is just brutal. Yikes. Okay. So we have 1 land again, but a lot of 1-drops. I might actually keep this. Bottom the Bird and the Teeg. It's not great. Maybe Mum and Teeg is where I need to be. But again, doesn't do a whole lot. I don't think with a 4 I'm going too far either. I think Prismatic Ending is just a little bit better than Bolt, so that might be here. Yeah. Opponent went to 6. Rough. Okay, we're in business. I just hope my opponent hasn't brought in like Plague Engineer. That would be pretty tough. Ah, sorry, there we go. Streaming. Too kind. Thanks, my possum. I would much rather see Leovold here than Plague. Oh, Uro. Interesting. Do I care? I don't think I really do. Gonna play the Teeg out with Pyroblast up. Well, this would be nice. We do get to counter the force here. A little win. Oh, they're gonna fetch. They bring in Veil, perhaps? Oh, Brainstorm. Okay. I guess they are filling up the yard for Uro, but we do have the Prismatic Ending for it, so that's not too bad. Yikes. Tough thing is as well, we can't actually cast Prismatic Ending with the Gaddock Teeg in play, so a little bit awkward here. Okay. That's pretty nice. I'd probably rather just get the Knight down here though. Means our mana no longer is an issue. Double Plague's kind of annoying, but if they want to double Plague on human, that's not the worst. Okay, well now the Prismatic Ending's online. I'm probably happy just to trade the Trop here with a Wasteland. And still have open source to Plowshares, but this is a tough spot. The mulligans are really hard against the deck that just has so much replacement effect. I mean, the Plague here is just going to be a 3-for-1, which is tough. Yeah. Tough. Just outvalued. 100%. Yikes. But again, Aluren, a cool deck to play again. And yeah, maybe one that I'll pick up for a little bit. I played Aluren a little bit. Obviously a little bit more tedious online, but just a hard one to attack with Maverick. I think Plagues are a good start as a way to get through Ice Fangs and Baleful Strixes. Aethersworn Canonists, of course, in the sideboard are really strong as a way to really shut down the combo, but you need to also pressure, which can be tough. I don't mind this hand. Turn 1 Mom, turn 2 Library is pretty strong. Also having Endurance up is great. Interesting. Maybe something like elementals? Another library is just a little bit too early, but it is a card that I can get rid of with endurance, which isn't too bad. Dwarves. Interesting. Shapeshifter deck. I guess we'll see here. Insect. Okay. Changeling. Okay. This spell costs 1 less for each. Double strike. Okay. Ah, that's interesting, because this is obviously all creature types, so this is just going to be kind of free, which is pretty cool. Oh, nice. I don't mind taking out the vial here and playing the second... Mum. I have not seen this deck, so I feel like I am in for a treat, which is very cool to see. This is really cool, this sort of setup. Obviously, 3-2 double strike is not something to be too good. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Okay, it's gonna be, I guess, Shapeshifter. Interesting. Okay. They are gonna attack. Okay. Well, we will block. And try to get pro-white. Grist. Grist is pretty strong here. It's going to really go up the board. Especially if it keeps churning creatures. Platinum Imperium? How does it get this into play? Huh. Okay. Probably don't mind the Wasteland here taking out the Swamp Yard. Because the regenerate's going to be a little bit rough. Chat, remember no spoilers? Oh no. Alright, so we're at 7. We have double Mum Online, which is nice. We do also have Ooze here. I think I might just play Ooze, eat the Platinum, or either play Ooze, hold up, eat, and just Wasteland this, because the regenerate's going to be a little bit rough. I want to start actually killing creatures for Ooze to eat. I don't want them just to be regenerating the creature that I block with Mum. So let's go put on top, put on top. Play Wasteland. Play Ooze. Hit the Swamp Yard and then just pass. I guess we do also have the Wasteland lock with Ramanap, which is quite nice. Named Dwarf. Okay. Maybe there's a dwarf that puts like an artifact from your graveyard into play? That could be cool. Alright, so they're going to sack something here. Probably the token. Destroy the ooze. In response, we'll give pro... Probably pro black. They still attack with both. This makes me really stressful that I want to put the 2/2 in front of the 1/1, but I feel like something is up. I guess second Grist would be pretty good. Can they? I don't think they can. Oh, they can cast it actually. Is this an insect? Yeah, they can. Yeah. Yikes. Look, I'm gonna walk into it. Let's do this. Before damage, try to get pro white. Second Grist. Masked Vandal. Ah, interesting. Unfortunately... Oh, actually, we can endurance them here if we really want to. I don't mind that. I think keeping the library here is actually really good. So I actually am going to eat the Imperium. And then I think trading the library here is fine. We do also have the second library. Interesting. Interesting to say the least. We allow us to survive. We untap. Maybe I don't want to endurance here because we have the second library. Alright, you got me. Trying to think what I left on top. I think it was Noble Hierarch. Yeah. I guess here I can also go Ramanap into Windswept Heath, which allows me to get Dried Arbor, just to put in front of this for as long as I want to. I don't mind that, and then I can use Mum here to get rid of Grist. So pro green. Hey, Pretty Lights fam. Thanks for the 6 months up. A huge thank you. I hope you're doing well. Let me know what you've been up to. How you going? Another one. Okay. Oh, no attacks. Okay. That's actually pretty interesting. I'm still just gonna get Dried Arbor here. Play Wasteland. Dwarf or Insect? I'm going to take out the Dwarf. Play second library. Dwarf is correct. Who would have thought? Who would have thought there would be a thought process in Legacy where I have to choose between Insect on Unclaimed Territory and Dwarf on Cavernous Souls? And I think here I might just want to hold up the... the Ooze Eat and also Dried Arbor as a blocker. But there is a world where I do want to use the Noble as well. Yeah, I actually am going to use the Noble. Really want to get to a stage where I can start just casting double spell a turn, maybe find some Swords to Plowshares for these Valorant challenges. Cob Dwarf Insect. Hey, Pretty Lights fam, a huge thank you. How are you going with Green White Depths? Are you playing any Spice? I know there's some cool cards going around. I know there's that enchantment. The 5-drop enchantment that's pretty cool from Commander. Mapson, if you have a thought on that card, which I cannot name right now. I believe it has Paradox in the name. Is pretty interesting as a 5-drop. Ooh. Sack a creature, search your library for a creature card that shares a creature type with the sacrificed creature and has mana value +1. Ah, okay. So they can sack this and go and get something pretty big. Yikes. Oh, but it costs 2 to actually... Okay. Okay. We're going to be just fine here. Put on top. Can I draw the bolt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. -1 on the canopy is 4 mana. -1 on the Taiga is 3 mana. So I can draw the bolt, play a land, play knight, or I can do some other shenanigans. Knight's pretty good in case they get some sort of legendary creature. I'm going to put the lightning bolt on top because I can draw it if I really need it. I am going to wasteland them because there is a chance they just don't have the mana for this. And now I guess I can hold up, draw into bolt if needed. I kind of want to get in, to be fair. So they try to double block, we can draw into bolt and bolt 1. Mums make blocking pretty bad here, but you never know. I think I'm just going to hold up the bolt. Three cards. Oh, they found a land. The question is, do I have to do anything in response to them doing something here? I think for a start, I will... +1 that creature's value. I will eat this just in case. And then I think we just let it resolve and see what they get. We already exiled Imperium, so I'm not too sure what the other card is that they could get. Flying, first strike, vigilance, protection from red and pro green. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, time to find swords. So I do want to get rid of this champion. Most likely. I don't think there's a world where I could kill them. Because they have so many things. Like even pro white, I have to give... If I want one creature to get through, it has to be... Maybe Questing Beast. No, Questing Beast doesn't do it. Questing Beast with Exalted would be 6. Sorry, it would be 5. Would be 8. Yeah, I think I just want to go after the champion and eat it. That at least puts me up. Probably just want to pay for both and take them off 2 creatures. Pro red, pro green. Yeah. Pay for this. Play Wasteland. Take them off encampment. Swords this. Swords this. I'm probably actually happy to attack like this. Yeah, okay. Luck, let's be honest. Pro red, pro green. I don't think the blast do anything. I don't mind the oof. And I don't mind the forces. I'm going to take out the Thalia, the Gaddock Teeg. Hey, thanks, Mapson. All the best. Enjoy your week ahead. Hope you're doing well. It might just be the Ceratops. Ceratops lines up kind of weird in this matchup. Alright. I don't mind this hand because it's a turn 1 Noble and a turn 2 Collector Oof, which is pretty good against the Vial and also that 2 mana artifact. Alright. I don't think I get too punished by not playing like one of these here, so I'm going to go with the Noble Hierarch. And just hope that I go like that 1 mana creature into the big creature. Oh, now I'm very happy. Oh, we drew it? Even better. Because now we get to Wasteland in the same turn. Sure. I wonder what the outs to Collector Oof are. They might have, like, Dismember. They could also have something like Source to Plowshares with Reflecting Pool. Ooh. It can just regenerate here, so let's go for Bird Dryad Pass. I might as well see if they block. There is a world where they don't. Yeah. Nice. 3 free damage. I mean, Wasteland Lock is going to be really nice. It looks like they don't have an answer in hand for the Oof, so... if we can keep them off like double colored source, that would be really nice. And even if not, I mean, we have Ramanap with Dried Arbor, which can just block every turn and come back every turn. So yeah, pretty unfortunate for us. I mean, we did have the Green Suns for Collector Oof, but naturally drawing it and getting the Wasteland in the same turn is just huge, so can't be too unhappy there. Alright. Let's hopefully try to finish this 3-2. Be really cool. Red Splash has been nice. I think I probably want to add a land. I couldn't fit the Punishing Fires. I really wanted to play Bolt, and I really wanted to play the Prismatic Endings. So it was quite hard to find. I could see a world where I take out the Onces, maybe add 2 Groves and take out one Canopy and then go upper land, and then maybe take out like... I'm not sure. But I do think there's probably a good deck out there that can play the Punishing Fires, because there are a few decks in the Punishing Maverick Discord Decklist channel that are playing Punishing Fire, which is really cool to see, but I really wanted that 1 mana interaction that also killed DRC, which is pretty big. The mana for the Dwarf Changing deck is really finicky. Yeah, so I assume they play a bunch of cheap creatures and then use that artifact to get a really big creature with that 2 mana make cheaper 3/3 with double strike. I am terrible at this and I'm killing it, but I think that's what they try to do. Cheat a fatty into play. What are some of the other versions of dwarfs or of that deck? And are there other versions? Right. Rowing. Yeah, the mana's just been off a little bit tonight, and maybe that's an issue for me. Maybe I didn't build it correctly. I feel like it's fine, especially with the 2/1s, but we'll also see. They also play Madga. Can you post the full name of Madga? Oh, they grist into Slingang? That's very cool. I'm going to mulligan this. I think I just really want that green source. Okay, we get it. We can bottom the Cradle here. Oh, that's sick. Okay, I'm a big fan of that. If I draw a land here, I'm going to wasteland them in their upkeep. Oh, we didn't, but that's actually pretty good. Okay. The question is, how do I want to play this out? It's a tropical island, which you don't see too much of. I could go Taiga into Green Suns to have all my colors online. I could also just go for basics here and not have access to red. I think Taiga into Dryad is fine. This also means if they have like a Sylvan Library next turn, we can... Oh, Grove. Okay. Sure. Ooh. That really makes me not want to wasteland here. So I think I will just pass here with mana up. Because if I can land this Clothis, I'd be very happy. Okay. Speaking of. Okay. Well, now I can actually Prismatic Ending their own one, which I think is worth it. Red, green. I'm also not too scared of Wasteland here as well, because we have the extra land anyway. Hope he knows what's up. Split it. Okay. This deck's gonna be cool. This deck's gonna be sweet. A lot of value. Play a second Grove. Okay. I think here I want to just play out Clothis and then maybe take them off their trop. No, that actually doesn't do anything because they have double blue. They have... Yeah. Wasteland doesn't do a whole lot. Sure. Mountain. but a pretty cool mountain, let's be honest. So they can actually Punishing Fire, return Punishing Fire, so even Knight as a 4/4 isn't good enough. Oh, Maze. Not great. I'm going to take out the iteration. I think then we just play out Knight and hold up Wasteland, which means they can't Punishing Fire us. Oh, do they have Force of Will? That would be a heads-up play. Yeah, okay. Not too bad. Mazavith. Hey, Jack. Yeah, playing Maze. Trying it out as a spell in this deck. Mum. Okay. Probably just want to wait here. Yeah, it's pretty good against Murktide. Obviously, like, Wasteland's a pretty nice answer for Maze, but I do like it against some of the more aggressive decks, and then for us just being able to attack with like a Knight and then reuse it is pretty cool. I think I'm just going to pass with Endurance Hub. This is fine. Oh. Oh, no opponent. No opponent. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Come on now. Come on now. Alright, this is going to be some sort of like extra spicy deck. I probably just don't mind these four. Thalia can come out, Gaddock Teeg can come out, Shifting can come out. Quest is interesting. We haven't played too much Curse, unfortunately. If I am going to talk about the one game that I played it against Show and Tell, they did just get to the stage where they could pay the 2 and cast Show and Tell, which is really rough, but I do like the thought of it. Yeah, hopefully some more. I'm going to take out the Maze as well. I think this is going to be fine. Blast are definitely interesting. I'm not too sure if my opponent's just playing some sort of like Stifro pile. Maybe there's a world where these are okay. Yeah, sadly not. I think it was a pretty fair like Curse into maybe Teeg into something else. Yeah, I actually took out most of the Thalias in this list just so I could have a bigger Green Suns package and also run a bunch of removal in the deck. But yeah, I feel like the numbers could definitely be different. I'm going to take out 2 swords and bring in 2 blasts. Because I'm going to assume they're either on Uro or maybe Endurance as creatures. Council! I hope you're all as well. It's a pretty sweet hand. We have a once, which is really nice. Turn 1 Library is pretty cool. They're playing Sanctuary as well. Interesting. Okay. Outlander. Alright, let's start with once. Hopefully find a Mana Dork. We don't. Find a second Endurance. I'm going to take the Savannah, play the Forest, and pass. Diablo was opening today. I saw that. I saw you were going to stream some Diablo 2, which I'll definitely come in and watch. Because I haven't ever played Diablo. Maybe 15 minutes of the... 50 minutes of the trial of the third one, but other than that, not too much. What is this? Impulse. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like Wasteland Hierarchy here. The Wastelands definitely have some merit to keeping for things like Grove, but I think here if I can just play out the Hierarch and play around like Counterspell, I'm pretty happy to do that. This also gives me some time to draw into a red source for Clothis. Pyroclasm. That is a fine trade. Another library. Not the worst. At least if the first one goes here, then we have a second backup. And I think here, seeing their current base, I'm pretty happy just to pay 8 here. And then we're just playing a land. Well, holding up Endurance. I kind of like double spelling here, but I'm not sure what I want to double spell. I kind of want to play the Scoos when I can make it a 3/3 straight away. So I think it might just be Mum into Outlander. Counterspell. Okay. I guess there's a world where I could also Green Suns there for Birds of Paradise. That way we definitely have a red source the following turn for Clothis. Yeah, I know Blizzard definitely lost a lot of supporters there. So kudos to you for keeping true. But it is tough, especially for someone who plays a lot of Diablo. It'd be tough for the new one to come out and not get it. How does day-night work? So I believe it is day-bound. If a player casts no spells during their own turn, it becomes night next turn. And then if a player casts 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day the following turn. So it will flip here into a 3/3, which is nice. Which can't be pyroclasmed. Sorry, can't be hit with... what's it called? Punishing Fire. Hey, True Hero. A huge thank you. Too kind. What did you just play? And how did you go? I probably just want to play the Knight here and hold the choke when they actually tap out. Yes, if my creature dies, it remains day or night, which is pretty interesting. I think I'm just going to put the choke on top. And I probably don't mind paying for the plateau here, going to 8. They still don't have up Force Mana here, so I am just going to hardcast the Clothis. And then if they try to like snap into Counterspell, we have the Endurance. Another Counterspell. Yeah, it's a pretty cool mechanic. Just passing here. Okay. What new cards am I using? The first one is Outland Liberator, which is just a strict upgrade against Qasali Pride Mage, out of some really kind of, I guess, small circumstances where, like, this can't attack into a Plague Engineer on human, but Qasali Pride Mage can. But I really like that it's, whenever it attacks and it's flipped, you can destroy target artifact or enchantment, so it plays around things like Mazavith, Glacial Chasm, Mother of Runes. So against like lands, Grimoire Depths, and D&T, it's pretty cool. Also for Saga, really nice. Oh, True Name is going to be A-okay. We are at 8 though, so that's actually a pretty big one. I guess we have the Ooze to gain some life. Okay. Put on top, put on top. Maybe the play was actually to take the land and try to Green Suns for Questing Beast. That might have been the better play. Attack with both creatures. Ooze only does so much here. Do you think I'd trade Knight of Autumn for the Werewolf Pride Mage? Definitely interesting. I do like that it gives extra value, which is really nice, but there are worlds where you just want the ETB trigger. So we go to 5 next turn. I think I am going to land the choke here. It does cost 1 less to Green Suns for, but it does cost 1 to activate as well. Maybe the world is something like this, and then use the Green Suns for Dried Arbor, just to ramp a bit. And then maybe Screws can keep us in the game long enough. Yeah, I think I need a beast next turn, but I could have kept the Green Suns, but I do like building up my mana a little bit as well. They are going to attack. A second one would be brutal. Okay, that's a start. Okay. 1, okay. Put on top, put on top. Play the Savannah. Play Ooze. Just gonna eat straight away. They have no creatures. I'm gonna eat Clothis, go up to 6. And then probably just attack here for 4, putting them to 12. And then on the swing back we have Lethal, which is nice. I could have played Knight, but I think this still lines up okay. No blocks. I am going to eat before damage in case of Bolt. Yeah, Knight Rider. Nice one. Which does mean they can bolt the Ooze if they have it. That changes a lot. Oh. We still gain the life. Interesting. But they gain 2, which is huge. Can they flash us back? They can. Oh, does it shuffle out? Ah, they shuffled, so we lost the Green Suns. Wow, that's huge. But hopefully it doesn't change anything. 4, 7, 8. Put on top, put on top. Canopy. Attack. Play Knight. Hold up Endurance if it's relevant. Gives us an extra creature to put into the bin, which is nice. I guess we can also use 1 mana to sacrifice the Frenzied. Maybe it was worth holding up the Dried Arbor there, so we have 2 mana to eat. I guess we're... yeah, because the Canopy means we lose a life, gain a life, so it means nothing. Maybe it was worth holding up the Dried Arbor there. Guess we'll see. Wow, they didn't have it. Interesting. Definitely a lot of ways that I could have run that race. Deck was definitely interesting. Nice to finish 3-2. So I didn't mind the one Thalia. I think I would probably go up to 2 in this sort of build. Probably stick at 2 as well if I was going to play the version with cards like Punishing Fire, because I don't want to tax myself too much. But I do think that Thalia is okay in the metagame right now. Even against some of the blue-red decks, having a 2-1 first strike that taxes is really strong. Ceratops I didn't really see, and maybe Ceratops is more of just a sideboard threat that I want to have in the deck. So that definitely makes way for like a Thalia, which is pretty nice. I really liked the thought of the blasts. We didn't really run into much of a blue league, but I do like the thought of having the blast in the sideboard, so I do like the red splash, which is nice. Hey Percy, thanks for the follow. But yeah, a little bit of tuning for sure, especially on the numbers. Like, I'm not sure if Bolt is better than Punishing Fire, and if so, we want to run some number of Groves and Punishing Fires in this deck. Prismatic Ending was nice, but there is some consensus to running Skyclave Apparition instead, because you can find it off Once Upon a Time, which is pretty cool, because then you can actually find removal off once. But I think Prismatic's just so nice as a 1 mana removal spell as well, that Skyclaves in the deck do lead to some hands of like, 4 lands, 3 drops. And Prismatic Ending not just being flexible on targets, but also on mana, is why I really like it in this deck. So that's always a tough one. But hey, a huge thank you to you guys for coming in and watching. This is really fun. It was really cool to come back to a red version of Maverick and see how it performs. I'll probably play it some more. And probably do some recording videos for YouTube, which you can check out here. But I'm going to see who else is playing some Maverick, or some Magic, I should say. And it looks like I don't have anyone.